So this is a rock crusher I built together 2 years ago, and I've been leaving it here just to test it out. Yeah, I took it here, did some testing, seeing what needs to change, seeing what's not need to change. So I got a clear picture of that, so we're gonna take this down the mountain into the garage so I can start doing the upgrades on this and producing some tons of gravel. So the battery is completely dead. Lifting stuff with because it's sinking so fast. I guess it's some kind of weld problem in this. I did change the seal in both of these cylinders. There's no problem with that. It has to be in the maybe an over center valve or something like that. You can check that sometimes. But yeah, so I gotta tow this down with the tractor. So when I towed it here, this kind of clearly showed that it's not meant for the weight this is. I can't really risk this breaking off when going downhill, so I gotta go and get the welder, and we're gonna weld something here, some sort of security, because if this breaks when going downhill, we're gonna have big problems. So we're gonna weld that. Almost forgot about this, so I need to reinstall the hydraulic motor here to get the hydraulic legs back up. To do that, I borrowed this for the lift I have. This is the hydraulic motor. Just gonna find something simple. It might fit there. I mean, we only need to get it welded so we can get it down. Then we're not gonna keep that. So. Yeah, I think this is good. Looks kind of thick. It looks like there's quite a big thunderstorm coming in here. So you can see the clouds. The wind is sending them going straight like that, so they're gonna pass here. Well, we're gonna weld that. And to get that welded, we need some power, and we're gonna use this genset. So well, this is something I bought I kind of serviced it, made it work, and then I left it here to use with the conveyor. Haven't used it since, so it's already 2 years ago I did that. So we're gonna get this. So I put a new battery in this, but I did measure the battery. It was 8 volts, so we're gonna need to give it a little boost to start up. Good thing with filming stuff is that you can go back and check what you did. I did go through all of this, but looking at this right now, I don't remember what that was for. Probably the throttle. Or no, maybe this is to kill it. The rain weather came in kind of fast, so I just gotta wait this out sitting here. So I'm just watching myself, seeing how the genset actually was working. Nothing really special. I just bleeded that it had a little hard time getting the diesel to the. So there's actually an electric connection there that goes to a pump. So when that's on, it's gonna start pumping on a pressure to the filters. So, yeah. I think I gotta go with this piece. I mean, this is kinda, I just kinda weld here. The forces when this pushing up, it's gonna get us, yeah, I gotta go with this. I got this meter hooked up to the generator there. The hertz supposed to be 50. Kinda perfect. That's working good. Just a little extra fail safe here. That is gonna take up the sum of the force. Not want to bend this more than it already is. I gotta see if my excavator can lift this, because I want to take that with me also. in the way there. So I gotta get Gramps to come down with the tractor. He had some problems with that. I gotta, well, change the oil, and then we're gonna take that to head up and get the crusher done. So Gramps just dropped the tractor off here and went back home. So he requested me to have a look at the tilt. This isn't working. When letting the tilt down, it works perfectly. You can feel it springing back. When letting the tilt up, it's kinda feels like something is going on there. So that tilt wire is going in here, so we're gonna open this. See if there's anything wrong. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, all right, I think I understand how this works now. This locking ring here, oh, it's sitting kind of tight. So this ring here is getting pressed on by this piece, so it goes in the groove here, and when I tighten this, that thing is gripping through this, holding this really tight. So I went back on the camera checking how the setting was on this before, and well, you can clearly see that this thing had been pushed down way too much. So this is the fault. Kind of easy fix. So it's gonna lock it like this. This is approximately the same length as the other one. Yeah, so that is working. Let's do the next step, that is changing the oil. So I'm gonna let that drip and just grease this meanwhile. So I need to put a new grease tube here. Just to answer a comment I got about the grease gun. So when putting in new grease, like that, you got the pin locked because there's a spring here pushing the grease forward. So you release that pin, and what many people do is that they push this pin in. Well, the comment was something about why don't I push this pin in? Yeah, the reason is to keep an eye how much grease you got left. Because when you leave the pin like this, well, you need to unhook it from there so the spring works. But when you leave the pin like this, you can always see how much grease you got left in this gun. Because when you grab in this gun and go out to grease something, you kind of know how much grease you're gonna need. So by seeing the level, you know if you need to bring another tube or not. So that's the reason why I leave it like this, to keep an eye on the level. supposed to be a grease nipple there somewhere. And so that's a little weird. I checked this. This has no grease nipple on its sides. But on the other side, it's got a grease nipple here in the middle. So you can't grease this side, but you can grease the other side. I don't know, it's like they forgot to put a hole for a grease nipple here. Farmer's way of driving. Always the fork in there. The thing with using forks in a tractor like this is that you can't see anything. You just gotta kind of go behind here. I think we got it. Yeah, I think it's fall. Yeah, the storm took that one. Oh. Well, I forgot the toolbox, but I always have this little plier in my pocket there. Should get a solenoid to this. Kinda quit the sparking. To lower that to take the pressure off these back legs, so I can get them up first. That's good. So they're sitting higher than the tank now, so they're not gonna leak. Yeah, we gotta give it a try. So this uphill is kind of steep. It's steeper than it looks. So it's 4-wheel drive on, diff lock. And I just gotta go for it. Let's see, 2 low, and then we got. So that should be 4-wheel. This is diff lock, I believe. Not enough speed. I gotta get more speed before getting up this hill. It's just there. I mean, a few meters more and we would have made that. steep downhill coming now. This is the thing I've been dreading. When I was about to take this down last winter, I kinda avoid doing that due to this hill here. Well, it's not slippery now, but we gotta engine brake the way down. Hopefully it doesn't lose grip. If this loses grip, I'm bailing. I'm out of this thing. Up in the forest. Nah, it's not really that steep. It's kind of hard seeing on camera how steep it actually is. It's not really that bad though, but if this lost its grip, I would be in kind of a pickle, you would say. This is no problem. Go find him. Clean off the dirt here. So I really need to check on that excavator. I believe there's probably just some scrap or something stuck in a valve, so it doesn't close completely. That's why it sinks so fast. And for this thing, if you wonder why I didn't unload the bed, I thought something was broken. It didn't release the lock to let me unload that. But I just now realized there's a button in the cab you need to push in order for that lock to release so you can unload that bed. Yeah, forgot about that. I just remembered that. I really need to buy a marking machine. Mark buttons like that. That's the biggest lie ever told. I gotta remember that for later. You don't. Yes, about this machine. We're gonna get this moved from here also. I don't need to take that. Well, I can't really take this to the garage right now since I don't have room for it. But we're gonna move it up there so it's easy, even though it's started to snow, to get it out from here. So I got 2 complete units of this working. I think this is gonna be the project we're gonna work on. So I do have a project for this. Making this thing shorter. We're gonna take that sweeper unit off and short this entire thing. So yeah, but I gotta take Genset to the garage now. Then we're gonna get back. I'm gonna find some batteries so we can start this thing. So we got 4 volts and we got almost 5 volts. So yeah, we're gonna jump start this. Okay, so this thing has 2 engines, so we're gonna need to prime the other one too. So yeah, that's the other one. Feels like the O-ring is bad in this. Doesn't really get... Oh, it's kind of better now. So the reason this has 2 engines is that this one is driving the hydraulic to that brush, and it also drives this. So this contains a big fan pressing air down here to blast snow. It's meant for airfield, so yeah. So in total this got around 700 Scania horsepower. And the reason I need to start both engines is that in order to get the hydraulic moving to steer this back part, I'm gonna need to do that to get out of here. I need to start that engine, and the other engine, so this engine here is connected to this gearbox. It goes there and it goes to the rear axle. So this motor is just meant for driving this. just want to use it with the pressure. Keep a consistent RPM. I gotta need to prime that back engine some more. Doesn't want to start. So you can also start this thing from the back here. That's giving up some nice smoke rings there. So I'll turn it off. The second motor doesn't want to start. I cranked that a lot of times. So I think that prime pump needs to be changed. So that is leaking. So I can't really get up fuel pressure. So I think if we change that, we might be closer to goal, getting that started. Alright, let's go find a new one. Yeah, so let's steal. I wonder if there's another thread on that. This looks... Is it smaller? I don't know. Let's steal that. Well, this looks way better than the other ones. Okay, let's install this new one. Okay, that's there. Now it's pressure. Well, so I need to have the other engine running before I can start that. Because I need to have that generator producing electricity. Just using the track, it doesn't have enough power there. So. There we go. So this thing is gonna build air pressure now. So all the stuff works. The air pipes, put them up. Steering is working. Hydraulic oil level. Well, yeah, I know that's kind of low. We're gonna fix that. I'm not right now. Well, I can't get that pipe up. What am I doing wrong here? So we got two problems. One is that I can't get that plow up, and I can't get the air pipe up on the other side. So this air pipe, I can't get that up. We're gonna try manually going in and just lift it. Oh, that works. Right, so that worked. So we gotta do the same thing with the plow. I just gonna need to lift this here. Well, let's just try. Someone should be the correct one. Okay, that's the wing. other wing. Just putting it out. Of course it is the last one to try. Oh, there it is. Why is nothing happening? Right, so the plow is in float position. Kind of suspected that when you can't get it up, so it just sinks at the same time you try to raise that thing. So I'm not really sure how to, there's nothing to really turn that off. The thing with this is that it's got kind of an automatic adjustment thing where you, when you change the side of, when you're plowing the runway, you just pull a lever, I guess, in this, and the plow is automatically going to turn that way. Same with the sweeper. And now the proximity sensor that's here doesn't sense that it's in position, so I can't really use any of this. There's no override function for that, it seems. I know another way to do this. So, well, I just gonna unplug the electric here. I'm guessing this is the float position, since that is a single setup valve. It only has to do one thing, and that is float position or not float position. So if we disconnect that, all right, that's disconnected. Let's try this now. Oh yeah, now it works. I think this thing is ready to go now. I don't believe there's anything else in the way now. Gotta give it a try. Getting this behemoth out of here. Okay, let's see here. So we got brake valve off. Parking brake disengaged. Steering. Let's just try. Oh, it's moving. Okay, we need to steer that manually. Can do that here. Oh. With the closed, with the doors closed like this thing is really silent. It's just like an echo sitting in here. So where are we gonna put this? Well, we gotta put it there. We got a ranger there, wondering what's going on. What's that behemoth doing here? Well, I gotta try. Let's try and turn in there. Okay, I think I gotta leave it there. So there. That is off. So it was kind of a hassle getting this moved and get it here. So I didn't film that, but the engine died just in the hill there when getting up. The reason it died was that it felt like the coolant level was low, so this has an automatic shut off. So if the coolant level is low, the engine will just shut off. So it did, and the battery wasn't enough to start it, so I had to go and get the truck again, start it up. Well, the engine still it didn't want to start since, well, the coolant level was low and the shut-off valve was active, so I had to disconnect the shut-off valve to get this engine started. That's why I had to use this emergency stop for the engine. This is gonna be here until I need it. Look at this, we got some blueberries here. Might as well pick some. I've got some blueberries with aftertaste of hydraulic oil. I got so much on my hands. Alright, so I just bought this yaw crusher.